Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Building Your Business right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. My guest today out of Nanaimo, beautiful British Columbia, is Norman Wolfe. And we're going to be talking about his passion. The passion is basically looking at your numbers, and not just looking at your numbers in accounting, but looking at the people behind the numbers. You are not just a piece of number on a plate. You have an identity. What do your numbers mean? It means so much more to him to serve you as a client, not just your numbers. He has a passion for business. He started at the early age of 10 years old, where he would sit in front of his grandfather's confectionery in front of Stampede grounds in Calgary, selling pop to people walking to and fro of the Stampede. Now at New Heights Accounting, he believes that one size does not fit all. Solution is not good for all clients. Depending on your situation, your accounting requirements are going to be different than those with other people. They like to take their time to tailor a program to fit your accounting needs and budget, and will not do more than you actually require. No upselling here. If your only requirement is to produce your tax return or personal corporation, then that's what they would do. Why pay for more of a set of financial statements if you're not going to use them? He works with his wife, who's very passionate about that side of things as well. And they used to live in Calgary, but now here in beautiful Nanaimo. And his wife was not ready to retire when he was. And so they've decided to open up an accounting firm. Why not? And here they are, living in Nanaimo, just opened up their own premises and loving what you do. That's one of the big things, isn't it? You may be good at something, but people do something they're good at, but their heart isn't in it. But when your heart is in it and you truly are enjoying what you're doing and how you're helping people and how you make a difference in other people's lives, it really has a good impact on you. So therefore has a good impact on your clientele, right, Nom?
That's exactly it. Exactly it. I mean, we look at people and try to find out what their needs are. I was taught by my mother. We ran a clothing business in Calgary. Our clients are more than just our clients.
Mhm.
They're our friends. And when you approach clients that way and maintain a friendship, you get it back in spades. I mean,
Yeah.
it doubles up on you. And that's the whole basis of our business. And when we moved to Nanaimo, I do have a master's in business.
Mhm.
And one of the things I did take when I was doing my master's program is how to develop a mission statement.
Mhm.
And people say a mission statement, oh, I'm going to be an accounting firm. Well, that's not a mission statement.
Mhm.
My mission statement, and we put it right on our business cards, we want to partner in your success,
Mhm.
which is a really weird
Mhm.
mission statement. Like that doesn't describe my business. No, it doesn't, but it describes my passion.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what makes the difference. So it drives my pricing, it drives the way I talk to clients, it drives everything that I do in our business. And we're coming up now to 10 years. We'll have a
Mhm.
year anniversary in business in Nanaimo coming this
And
December.
And I know, your wife does one part of it and you do the other part of it. So like you're a tag team type thing. And that's kind of brings about a nice balance of a yin yang, doesn't it? And
Very much.
I mean, you've partnered with your life and you look at your clientele as relationships and partnerships, which is what it is, because people are trusting you, with their numbers, with their money. I don't want to pay the government more than I should, right? Get me back as much as you can. But there is an intimacy to those numbers. It's a reveal of the people. And so they want to go to someone that doesn't feel like it's judgment, or that somebody can explain something to you when you don't understand. um, and somebody that understands that I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure, that you get back as much as you can, or you're not paying more than you need to. And I like the whole thing about the not the upselling. You know, this is what you want. You have an option if you wanted to go that way, but it isn't what's on the table right now. It's dealing with the dish that's in front of you.
I mean, our systems now are set up that we actually do produce a financial statement, and it's just part of the process. So it doesn't take any more time for us to do it. But the upsell is, okay, do I have to do your bookkeeping? If you want somebody else to do the bookkeeping, that's fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, just realize that there's some issues that we do it. We'd rather have people do the bookkeeping with us. Um, but the biggest thing is working to set the company up for success. And
Hmm.
it doesn't necessarily have to be the review of the financial numbers. Part of that is also involved in how do I organize your company, which is really like for a lot of people, that's an afterthought.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's a pre-planned attitude, how you set up the company to affect your taxes in the future. And that's how I look at
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm dealing with right now with a couple of companies that have a partnership, and their partnerships have gone south.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it's they're
War
disintegrating.
of the Roses.
Yeah, it's literally that way. Um, and these are not technically my current clients because I didn't have a chance to deal with them in the beginning. So I'm dealing with the aftermath, but I'm dealing with them. Um, and it partly the numbers, partly giving them business advice. And I refuse to give legal advice. And I tell them right in the beginning, I'm not a lawyer. I will
Mm-hmm.
talk to you as a businessman. I will talk to you as an accountant, but I'm not going to talk to you about the legal advice that you're going
Mm-hmm.
to go to your lawyer for. But I also want to work with your lawyer because
Yes.
the accountant and the lawyer are part of
Mm-hmm.
the team. Again, that's why I say we want to partner
Yeah.
in your success.
Yes.
So, and if I have to charge a lot of money, that's not partnering.
No.
That's me taking the money.
Right.
I mean, I have to get paid like
We all have to
everybody.
get paid. That's
I
just
mean, there's
respect, right?
yeah,
Yes.
and but at the end of the day, it's like this, and we've taken an attitude is that we're not going to be the cheapest one on the block. We're not the most expensive one on the block, but
Hmm.
we want to give you the biggest bang for the buck.
Right. You'll be fair,
Yeah.
right? And to your point about, bookkeeper is that you obviously have a system. So anybody that bookkeeps for you, they're following your system, which makes it so much easier then to take that bookkeeping and into the accountancy and balance everything rather than somebody's got their own style and you've got to work out what that style is. And that just takes an awful lot longer and, navigation. Where, if you've got people that are already in sync with you, then it makes it more smooth sailing for everybody.
Well, I mean, it's just simple. We got a referral for a charity,
Mm.
Vancouver. When they came to me, I took a look at their bookkeeping and I spent 2 to 3 days trying to make heads or tail out of it. It was a mess. It
Mhm.
was an honest to goodness mess. And these were so-called accountants. One was
Mhm.
an accountant who does charity work, and then they had a large firm doing their bookkeeping. It and the complaints was from the directors of it. They didn't know how much their budget was.
Right.
And they were complaining they didn't know how much money we had left. They didn't know how much they could spend. 6 months, we tore the place, we tore the accounting apart,
Hmm.
rebuilt it up, changed it, saving money, uh,
Being clear on where it is and what it is and how
and
it is.
and
Hmm.
simplified
Hmm.
the process. The company was doing what they called deferred revenue accounting, and that means at the end of the day, there should be no revenue because you bring money in, you take money out at the same rate.
Hmm.
When I looked at it, it was never that way. There was always pluses and minuses everywhere along the line. So we simplified it. Then we simplified their budgeting process. And now we give them reports. They say, Here's how much money I've got left in my account. We had a big meeting with the directors, and they asked, were there any problems? They go, we're happy.
Yes. Look, they're busy running a business. The last thing they want to know is, do I, don't I? What the hell's going on? It's like everybody must play to their strength. But as you said, in the partnering, in
Right,
teamwork, coming together, is you want to know that that department that's handling that is very clear and concise when you need the information.
right.
Not like, what? What? It throws the equilibrium off. And then people want to be in a rhythm when running a business, right?
And then they can devote their time more effectively.
Yes.
I mean, I tell
And
my
efficiently.
yeah, I tell my clients constantly, says, do you want to be sitting at your kitchen table every night doing bookkeeping, which you don't understand,
Right.
and it's going to frustrate you, no end? Or do you want to spend that time either spending it with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
your spouse, or if you don't if you want to, out there making more money?
Yes.
Spend, you know,
But also, one little mistake could be very, very costly. So where you think you're being economical by doing it yourself and you make a mistake, suddenly you realize, had I known better, you know, hand it over
and
to the people that know what they're doing.
well, that's it. I mean, we come across people who think they know what they're doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and as soon as somebody says, oh, it's easy to do, it's not rocket science,
Mm,
but there's so many little tips and
nuances. Hmm.
nuances, and there's so much bad information
Right,
out
right.
in the world. People will say, ask their friends for some advice, and they go,
Hmm.
yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Hmm.
That's no, that's wrong. Or else you're opening yourself up to an audit. And I can tell you right now, if the CRA ever comes and auditing you, it's not going to bode well.
I've literally known people who their accountants and bookkeepers did everything for them and they trusted them, and suddenly they're getting audited and they're in jail. Not the accountant, not the person who did the books. It's the person at the other end in jail for some sort of tax evasion that they thought was all being taken care of, right?
And
So,
I can tell you with firsthand experience that CRA has an awful lot of power. We had
mm,
we had a client, and all we did was their personal taxes. And we only did it for a couple of years. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. My wife had already gone to the office, and I was still at home because I don't get until a little bit later. I hear a knock at the door. Go downstairs. There's two CRA agents flashing their badge and say, "We have a search warrant."
for you.
No, well, for
Oh,
our business, but they were looking for a very specific thing.
oh,
But what I found out later, it was a large company on the island. They brought over 30 CRA agents and police. They came to my house with the police to secure my house. And the police, after they secured the house, they left all day with the CRA, and they were going through every piece of paper looking for the specific name. They were looking for something very, very specific. And the guy had not paid his GST for a number of years.
God, it feels very much like ice, doesn't it?
Well, it's very, I mean, I had nothing to hide because,
Right.
like I said, please go through. I mean, literally
But
old,
why you're home?
because at the time of our house was registered as the accounting firm because we were,
Ah.
and then they found out that we also had an office. So they had to go out and get another search warrant to look at our office. And then they screwed up the search warrant for the office, and they had to come back the next night. They came back with 7 CRA agents because most of them had already gone home. They did their simultaneous raid.
Right,
I know what CRA can do from first
right.
experience. And although I had nothing to hide and I didn't care and I was being very pleased,
Cooperative. Yeah.
go ahead, do what you need to do. Um, but yeah, I know what they can do. when they want to. And I've dealt with
Wish they were that efficient over crime. Yeah, but the taxman, he doesn't like anybody to escape through that loop, do they?
no, no. So you got to be, I mean, you got to be careful. And so, and our philosophy is, and my wife being who she is, and a little background on my wife, as she is a CPA, I have my MBA. In She's an immigrant from China.
Mhm.
China, she was a doctor, a physician, an actual Western medicine.
Right.
Came in she came to Canada back in 2001, I believe, and decided that she didn't want to be a doctor anymore. And we kind of have a joke about it. It says, as a doctor, when you make a mistake, you bury it. As an
Mm,
accountant, when you make a mistake, you do another journal entry. A whole lot less stress.
yes.
But she's taken that attitude from her medicine
Hmm.
into accounting,
Hmm.
but she's very exact, very anally retentive.
And diagnostic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually the more diagnostic person
Uh-huh.
in our relationship. She's very good at understanding how to do the work that she does, and anybody who works with us has to follow her desires,
System. Her
and
system.
and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
We have a system. We built it up, very successful at our system. We're not growing too fast. We're
Hmm.
containing our growth and doing what we need to do.
There's so many lessons here outside of accounting is that, you were ready to retire. She wasn't. She still had some life left in her. And so what you do is open up a new business and get a new premises and almost like starting all over again. But there are so many people, I say, retirement isn't retirement. It is a redirection,
Mm.
into then doing something you really love to do. And she kind of takes that nitty gritty, which is not really your forte or desire, but it still kind of keeps your mental juices going on the other side of the thing. So it's not like you're back in there the 100 hours a week, but you're still being able to use your skills, but on your own terms, in your own way. And I think that's what people need to look at. It's like you may say, doors closed in this particular career, but I still got so much to give and so much that I want to still input. But I want to do it on my own level, my own time type of thing, not under a big corporate saying you've got to do this. So there's never say never retire. I'm never going to do anything again. Just find something you really love to do.
Well, and that's it. I mean, when we came into Nanaimo, I told my wife, I says, look, I don't want to do file work anymore. I've
Mhm.
spent my time in front of a computer. I enjoyed it. I was good at it, but it wasn't my passion.
Right.
My passion was building business, was
Yes.
building a business. So when we moved here, we literally no clients,
Hmm.
had a thought. We opened up on January 4th. We literally had nobody, but I'd already started my networking and
Hmm.
getting things organized. And we built the business because of the passion of I want to do something. I want to build a business. I want to be a very successful business. Now, Anna is an amazing accountant. She is absolutely amazing. Not as good at marketing,
Right. Right.
but
Everybody's got their strength. Hmm.
I'm much better at the marketing end of it and building the business, but I use her strength,
Yes.
you know. The kind of the joke is she always challenges me. Says, I need to increase her sales. I need to do this. And I says, be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Because I will do it.
Yeah.
And
And
but
that means you're going to be working longer hours.
exactly. It's it's hard.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, it's when I come into this office and now that we, you know, opened up our own space,
Hmm.
it's not a rented space, and we renovated it to our desires.
Yes.
And when people come in and they go, "Oh my God, what a beautiful space!"
Yes.
And
Yes. All bright and breezy and everything's got its area, but it doesn't feel cut off, right?
yeah,
There's a nice flow to it, which is how you want every business to go to. You want there to be some fluidity. I'm always talking about rhythm and rhyme and fluidity in our own lives. We don't want stop, go, stop, go. We are actually creatures that are designed to be in a rhythm and a flow. And you
Right.
want your business to be like that. You know, everybody's part of that orchestra. They've all got an instrument, and they may not play their instrument in every number, but they know that they're competent to join in when they need to. So, you
Yeah,
know,
and we look at it from a holistic viewpoint, and we
hmm
try to say, how do we do things? I have a client. It was a family business with several companies in there. The mother retired, so she wanted to sell all these different companies to her son. And so the prior accountant, before we took over with him, had set up, okay, you do this, this, and this. And I looked at it and I go, why are you doing it that way? That is very, very expensive. CRA will love you because they're collecting huge tax
mm-hmm.
off you. And we had some issues with the lawyers because they kept changing lawyers and they kept falling down. And I finally said, I'm tired. I need you to change lawyers
To someone you can work with.
that I can work with.
Yes.
We had it done within 3 months, a total revamp of their organization. My estimation of their tax savings was something like $300,000.
That's a significant amount. You know, that
He's
that
going to
is a
pay
little
some of
more
it.
than a little dinner out.
He's going to pay some of it in the future, but his
Yes.
current tax savings,
Yeah.
and the thing is, because his mother is still a vibrant lady, she gets her thing, and we set it up that, and he said, "Look, I want to make sure that I take care of her after everything's paid off." So
hmm
we set it up that he can give her money from the business forever.
Right.
And so he's happy because his mother is taken care of. His mother is
Yes.
happy because she knows that she's not going to be in,
Suddenly destitute. Yes.
yeah, yeah, having to live off a Canada pension and no
Right.
AS, which, as we both know, is
It,
not.
believe me, I know.
Yeah,
Non-existent.
yeah, it's not there. It won't even pay my rent.
Right.
But it's those are the things that when I look at it and I go, I didn't have to do it.
Mhm.
I didn't have to suggest this thing because he was willy-nilly going along and he was happy with it and like this. And I said, I'm not happy.
No, it tugs away at your own integrity, doesn't it? I
That's
know
right.
I can do better. Why am I just settling and getting a check for it? No, I know I can do better, and I will feel better knowing I've done better for them.
And that's really it. Now, I
Mm,
spent a lot of time. I didn't get paid for it. I didn't charge him for my time because that was part of my attitude. Now, his other accountant, they were happy to take money from them. They set up these systems and it was just like, and I know what it cost them because it was in excess of $30,000 or 20 to $30,000 in setting it up, which was never used. It was never set up properly, and we had to
right.
unwind all this stuff. And at the end of the day, I look at it and he's going to be my client forever.
hmm It's an investment that you've made, investment of time,
That's right.
right?
And then the other thing is I come back in and it says, my motto, we want to partner in your success.
Yes. Yes.
It all goes back
Want to
to,
be a part of the equation.
that's right. It goes back to that mission statement
Yes.
we set up at the very, very first
Right.
day. How do I want to do it? Now, I'm working with clients that partnerships have gone downhill. I try to do the best that I can in helping them out. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not as successful, but it's not through lack of trying. It's
Mm,
forces that are outside of my thing, but I still want to partner.
yeah. Yeah. I don't think people really understand this. Like, so many people I've interviewed have come from corporate. Now, how many fingers are in the pie in corporate? You've got this department, that department, that department. So, and then people want to, well, I'm going to go out on my own. But suddenly they're now having to wear all those department hats. And many of those hats that make their neck very, very wobbly and they can't carry them. Well, now for your company, you need a good accountant or bookkeeper. You need a good lawyer for when you need a contract drawn up that actually knows how to talk to your accountant if need be, right? You need that team around you. Now that team now is independent because it's their independent business. So now it's like you're not under a corporate roof, but you're under a community roof. So
That's it.
how do you build that community of people that this is their hat, their expertise, and they're serving your company, and maybe even your services may serve their company, but it's kind of keeping it in the community where that's become the corporation, the community itself of a whole load of small businesses or solopreneurs supporting each other.
Well, it's like there's a lot of times when I bring in a new client, and we've had a really good conversation. At the bottom of my email, I say, "Welcome to the New Heights Accounting family."
Hmm. Yeah.
It says it. It's a, and one of the reasons like I like Facebook because I got a lot of clients that are very active on Facebook.
Hmm.
And as soon as I see anything that they produced, I share it.
Yes.
And also, if I have a client that does one thing and I bring in another client that needs assistance on something else. Yeah. There's one client I just was talking to today. Their partnership is going south. They're going to need some money to kind of break up the partnership. I've also met a person who has access to funding.
Hmm.
And I said, okay, I'm going to introduce you to this person. So you get your funding done in advance of. Now, when you talk to these other people, you're talking from a position of strength. So again,
Yes.
I'm always looking at where can I look for resources for my clients and myself? I mean, we're all doing, and how do we bring everybody together as a family?
Yeah. I mean, you do this, how we met is that you have every month kind of alignable, which is another lovely networking type. It's not like a Facebook posting Lakers recipes, and it's kinder than LinkedIn because it's kind of really all the alignables are very much community supportive, which is really nice. So I met you through this alignable meeting that you have every month, and I had the honor of guest speaking at as well. And that's the thing, nobody's there pitching to each other. Everybody's stating as to what they do. And then everybody around that table is in support. And that's where I think it needs to be this competitiveness. Needs to go out the door. There's room for everybody, but no, there is no one size that fits all.
Yeah.
When you're looking for somebody who does A, B, and C and D, you want somebody that you feel sees you and hears you. So you're going to go with somebody with like vibe, that, oh, I feel this person. I feel I really want to work with this person. And that's what it's about. It isn't about, well, my person or competition. No, if you're going there, it becomes cutthroat. And it's not about you, it's about what they can make from you. Right. And so, kind of what I love about the table is there's always new people coming in, some wonderful, steadfast people there. But it's, if somebody's got an issue or somebody's, got a problem, they share it and everybody puts in their little expertise and their ideas. That is community-based business.
Mhm.
And I think, we need to look at that. And when somebody goes, Norm, I really like you. I like what you're doing. I need accountancy. It's not about the pitch, right? It's about the partnership.
Well, and that's why I look at Alignable and part of the Alignable group of it, like some of the networking groups out there, they say only one per industry.
Yeah.
So there's
Yes.
no competition. And I'm of the other attitude is this, if there's another accountant, and we've had another accountant come in,
Mhm.
I know the guy quite well. And I said, I mean, there's some times that I can't
Do it all.
satisfy my client's need. And then
Yes.
come to the end of it. So therefore, I'm going to refer him to another one. So this one accountant who works that I know quite well, he does a lot of CFO type work and he does public accounting too. So I'm not going to always give him, excuse me, my hearing aid is going off here.
He speaks through his ears there.
And it's spam.
Yes, always spam. We get so much of it today.
Yeah.
But the point you're making is that um, there's room enough for everybody, and there's certain expertise that he does that you don't do, And as you said, be careful with what your wife asks for. You want more clients. Can you cope with them? And, sometimes, no, we just can't take anybody else on right now, but I've got a really good accountant that I can refer you to,
And
and
that
vice versa.
and that happened, especially in tax season
Yes. Oh,
when
God, yes.
we're up to our eyeballs in alligators, and I have somebody says I need an accountant to do my tax return. I said, I'm sorry, but I don't have any space available for you.
Right.
Where are you? Oh, I'm up in Parksville. I said, well, then I have a fellow that uh, you should go talk to. Or I have a fellow that they say, I need somebody who does American tax. I have somebody else from my alignable group that I fire
Mm-hmm.
off to do the US taxes. And I have another accountant that does audits is actually working with me right now on another audit that I have to produce, and I can't do audits. So I work with that. And then also he also does US taxes. So now I've got people in the accounting field that I can refer to. I don't think I'm going to get a lot referrals back, but I'm not worried about that because it's my client or
Yes.
potential client. Say, look, go to them.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
handle you.
And it's not always that you want to have it back. There's also this wonderful thing of pay it forward,
That's
you
right.
know, and and it may be I don't need, another account to take the work, or no more work from an accountant, but there's always other ways that we can support each other. And, that's the thing is, I belong to a few networks, and there's a couple of one I really want you to join, actually, because I think you will really enjoy it. Grow Getters, which is every month online. And what I like about it is their breakout rooms. And again, it's not about the pitch, it's about the conversation.
That's right.
And that's what's the beauty of it, is that conversation. You get to know people, and then you build up a rapport, and then it becomes the referral, or it becomes something else. I think what we're moving away from is the pitch, buy now, da, 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 da. Everybody's just a little, you know we don't want
And
that. Is it, do you see me, do you care, or am I just a dollar sign?
that was like the LinkedIn issue that I have with that
Mm,
platform. Is the first thing that they do is you see that they're doing offshore accounting. Now, I have taken a very strong position that I will not use offshore accounting.
mhm.
I could make more money.
Yeah.
I could because my cost would be cheaper. But offshore is offshore. The people that serve me live in my community. Therefore, I'm going to keep people who live in my community.
Yes, you're supporting your community.
And but it's the pitch where you get from LinkedIn that they come in and they say, I want to add you to my friends list.
Yeah.
And then the first thing, as they said, they do is say,
Yeah.
how can I help you? Or I can save you money.
Yes.
You haven't even entered into that conversation at that point.
No.
You've already pitching.
Yeah.
And I have been a salesman all my life. I have
Hmm.
been. I've been in sales. I've been in the pop sales. I've been into clothing sales. I did a lot of sales. So I understand the sales process. And one of the things that I always say to somebody says, don't try to sell a salesman.
Exactly.
Because I
Yeah.
know I know all the pitches. I know all the
Yeah.
that you guys are going to use because I've used them.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
And we
used them.
know it's like the old sight with the flash thing in your face. It becomes intrusive. My motto is inspiration begets invitation. And
Yeah.
if you're inspired by what somebody does or what they have, then that invitation is to reach out and have a dialogue. So be inspiring when you approach me. Don't start pitching me on something, because I'm going to press delete.
Oh, and that's exactly what I do.
Mhm.
And that's why I got into Alignable. And when you've entered my things, I say, first of all, if you start pitching
Yeah.
your product,
Yeah.
it cut you off.
Yes.
You have to tell people, you have to impart information.
Yes. Yes.
I took a course at VIU, the university here, on advanced accounting, and because I hadn't taken it during my CPA or CGA classes, and I went up to the prof and I said, if you give me 15 minutes, I want to talk to your class because, again, it's beyond accounting is beyond the numbers.
It is so beyond it. Any business is. I mean, I think this is where we're really at a turning point. And this is why I love doing business shows with business people that have changed their mindset or have decided that the old paradigm does not work anymore. When whoever you're working with, whether you're working with somebody that, a practitioner or a coach or accountant or, a lawyer, you just want to know that you could sit down and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or scotch with them at any time because you like who they are, right? I don't want to work with people whom I don't like who they are, right? If I don't feel comfortable in your presence, why am I going to feel comfortable working with you? And
Yeah.
we want to meet people where we feel there is a synergy, where we could sit down and have a nice cup of coffee outside of business and just talk about life. And that's, I think, is what we're all looking for in business. As I say, so many people have left the big corporate and they're looking for more intimacy. We know a number of people. There's Eddie and a few others that have left the big corporate and now want to serve the smaller companies because they've seen they've got left behind, right? Unless it's big corporation and big money. Oh, no, your account is too small. I can't deal with you. But these people need help as well in their business. And I think that's where it's going now. And I'm delighted to see that.
And this is where, part of our motto is say, like, there's a lot of firms out here that can't afford the big boy prices, but need the
Mm,
same level of accounting service.
yeah,
Um, I've gotten lots of clients from the larger firms because, first of all, it's not worth it for them to deal with the $2,000, $3,000.
right.
It's too small for them.
Yes.
They got too much bureaucracy. They have the
Mm,
bookkeeper, then they have the supervisor, then they have the manager, then they have the
mhm.
assistant, then they have the group manager, then they have the partner. And everybody, if in a big accounting firm, when they touch their file, they charge.
Yes.
Chung, 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 and it goes ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So we
Mm,
kept it really flat, I mean, intentionally. Um, but the other thing is that we we've gotten the complaints that they'll call somebody up and they won't return their phone call for
right.
2 months.
Yes.
I return the phone call and I tell people, so like, if you phone me, normally I can answer the phone right away, but I'll try to answer your phone call within 2, 3 hours. If you
Hmm.
phone on the weekend, I may answer the phone, but I may not
Right.
because that's my time off. But
Yes.
I return their calls on Monday.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's I call it personal business,
It is totally.
right? When you're personally putting yourself forth to be personal with somebody and make them feel, I really do care about you. I really do see you. I really do hear, and I'm really here to be of service. Right. And we've got so many. I got, somebody was talking to the other day, like with Google, wanting to change something simple, can't get through to anybody, not even a robotic chat. And you get these companies that have just become so big and so indifferent. I call it the ivory tower syndrome. You get up there so big, but what about the foundation? It's crumbling if you're not. For me, it's everything I've ever done in my life is customer service. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Owned restaurants, dress stores, worked in the film industry, theater industry. No matter what I've done, it's always customer service. And if the customer isn't happy, they're going to go somewhere else. And when you bend over for that customer and show, I care, I really do care, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to serve you what you need, then you have such loyalty from that customer because they know that you are a priority and that you really do care. And I think if you go about business not caring and you're going in for the bottom line, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of accounting firms out here.
Mm,
They've grown so fast and so big that they can't, they don't have the time to service. And
right.
sometimes the person wants to talk to the decision maker or the accountant, um, or somebody who can help them. There's a lot of times like I don't expect my bookkeepers to solve business situations. I said, that's
Hmm.
my job.
Yeah.
I want you to do your bookkeeping, and my bookkeepers do a really good job.
But
They,
they know that's their strength, their forte, and you've got their back.
that's right. And if I get complaints, like if I've had some issues, I am not afraid to tell the client off.
You're right.
No, don't do that. I've had clients that have been marginal for me. And then when I sort of say, no, you can't do this, and they finally leave and I go,
Yes.
and I've actually fired clients
Yeah.
because it's just the issues that they're bringing are not, I mean, they're not treating me with respect.
Right.
And so I say, okay, so I'm sorry, but I think it's time for you to go find
Yeah.
another
It's
accountant.
a two-way street. That
Yes.
partnership is, I need your services. I need to respect your services. I'm in the podcasting world. I've been here 13 and a half years, and I do charge, the people to be on my show. I get so many people, why should I pay to be on a podcast? And it's my profession. You're going to be along a lot of places with the show. Um, but even if you should be paying me. And I said, no, that's if you're going on TV somewhere, right? They may or may not pay you, right? But then people have got to get out of this old way of thinking. Bottom line is this: do you charge for your services? Right? You do? Then why can't I charge for mine?
Well,
Where's the mutual respect, right? And this is the thing is whether it's money or whatever you're giving people, respect each other's position, each other's time, and respect it obviously with payment, but also with respect and consideration. You're not there to serve them in case they're boots. You're there to help them balance their books, right? So it's got to be a two-way street. If it's not, then uneven and it's not going to work.
yeah. No, I mean
Simple.
that. So sorry for that. I'm still at the office. I still got my phones going off all over the place. Um, no, I mean it is, and the other thing is, I do have clients that have often said, "I want you to do it this way," and I'm going to say, "No, that is, I'm not risking
Mhm.
my business.
Right.
No, I have my integrity, and I've actually, again, that's where it comes into.
Mhm.
I had a client that was doing things under the table, and I said, I'm not comfortable with this.
Mhm.
Oh no, well, that's fine. I said, you understand what's going to happen? Yeah. And I said, fine, because we still will do what you want us to do to a certain point, with the realization that as the accountant, we don't determine how you do work, how you do your business.
Mhm.
You do it. Um, and then when they finally decide that, this is not a good fit, I literally
Yes.
sigh of relief because, they were one step away from me saying, go find somebody else because
Mhm.
they're doing things that are what I consider tax evasion.
Right.
Evasion is illegal. And I know what CRA does when you have tax evasion because
Yes.
they told you before they can
Yeah.
come
Knocking at your door. Yeah.
and they look for stuff. Then they're not going to hold me accountable for it. But at
Right.
the end of the day, I don't want to be involved with,
No, why should you have to go through that intrusion
yeah,
over somebody else trying to, skip on their taxes? Now, there's the difference between trying to skip out on your taxes and minimizing how much you pay on your taxes, right? There's the definition.
that's where I come in and I say,
Mhm.
look, I will do whatever I can. I make a business case in advance of whatever I'm deciding. That way, if CRA does call, I have an explanation of why it is. I'm
Yes.
looking at it as um, here's the right way to do it.
Hmm.
And again, like as I said, that one fellow that was buying the restaurants from his mom, I'm not I'm not avoiding taxes.
No.
I said eventually you will be paying tax 20 years down the line when you decide you're going to sell your businesses.
Mhm.
But I've set it up in a way that he minimizes the tax implication today, and in the future will take advantage of the law and minimize this tax
Down the road.
liability in the future.
Yes.
I'm not avoiding taxes. I'm just
No.
saying we're going to use the system that we have today under the rules,
Hmm.
and we're going to save you the tax today and into the future. I'm always looking at tax minimization,
Yes.
never tax avoidance.
Evasion.
Somebody says, I don't want to pay tax. And I say, well, then I'm not the accountant for you.
Right. Right. And the thing is, nobody likes to pay taxes, but hang on, you've got roads you drive on, you've got medical, you've got school systems, you've got numerous other things that are going on that taxes pay for. You can moan and bitch all you like about, I don't like my taxes going here or going there. But bottom line is you drive, your kids go to school, you've got free Medicare, it's got to come from somewhere. So this is us contributing with our taxes, but we don't want to contribute more than we should, because basically more money in our pocket means more money spending somewhere, which then generates more income for everyone else. So, if we look at it that way, we want to support the community by going out for dinner or shopping here or shopping there with that excess money rather than just going into taxes. But by paying your taxes, you are a contributor to everything else that is out there. And I think we've got to change our way of thinking. Taxes and the government. No, it's what are our taxes paying for? What do we actually have that the taxes are covering?
And part of like my experience back, I was a contract auditor back in
Mm.
Calgary Oil Patch.
So
Very
that gives you a different point of view when you're doing things too, right?
well, and the
Yeah.
thing is, when I came in, I was, as I say, a contract auditor to call it joint ventures in the oil patch. I was respected because when I came in, I took the attitude as I'm going to be as fair as I can.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to look at peanuts. I'm not going to look at things that are not material. I'm not going to hammer the client. But when I find it, they know it. And I was
Yeah.
very well respected because I said, I expect you to pay, or the firm that I was working for, I expect to pay what we need to pay.
Mm.
Not $1,000 more and not $1,000 less.
Exactly.
We will pay what we have to pay. And that relates to taxes too.
Yes.
I will pay the taxes that I have to pay at minimum that I have to pay
Hmm.
using the rules that I have to work
Right.
within
The parameters. Yeah.
and not paying more. One of the complaints that a lot of people have about accountants is you work for the Canada Revenue Agency.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, we don't work for them. We work with them, but realizing one thing, they control the situation.
Yes.
They determine what is going on. So if I know the rules, I can work within the situation because the last thing you want to have happen is CRA coming in and say, we're going to do an audit.
Because once you've had an audit, you're on their radar. They're going to be peeking at you in the
There-
future all the time, right?
There's a flag
Yeah.
that comes up.
Yes.
And even so far as saying, like, what areas in my accounting and my business do I have to be careful about? I say, I need to protect you because I know that the CRA loves to audit this one area. They
Mm.
love it. I get, I haven't had it for a while, but I usually get like 1 to 2 audits a year on this one subject. It's vehicles.
Ah.
I know it. I know that when you happen, and if you don't do the way I tell you, I
Mm.
know what CRA will say. They say expense denied and you pay
Yes.
tax. And I say,
Right.
if we do it the right way, we protect you.
Hmm.
That's not me working for CRA. It's me working with CRA because there is a entire book, the income tax
Yeah. Yes.
is very, very thick.
And you better follow it.
And the problem with income tax, some clauses or paragraphs will actually contradict another paragraph and be written
Uh-huh.
at a different time. But at least I understand it and I can work within the system. So it's not me working for CRA, it's me working with CRA
Partnering again to
and
protect you.
but protecting you because I know what
Yes.
they're going to do
But
and all
also
the
on
power
the
they have.
CRA calendar, on their thing is he's been an audit, so he knows what he's doing. That's your beneficial for your client because you know what they're looking for. right? You know what's going to be on their radar, so you know how to avoid that. But also from their point of view, they know your integrity with your clientele, so that your clientele is going to be less on the radar because they know you play by the books.
Well, because it's not so much that they know me, because they don't know me, but they know the work is done in such a way because CRA looks at, and the way they flag things is they go along and they say, here's a blip.
Hmm.
Okay, that blip creates a flag because they're expecting certain things and certain parameters. And if you exceed that parameter, then they're going to come in and say, okay, fine, we want to take a look at that. Vehicles. I had an experience when I was the controller for an oil company. Our GST is always going like this thing. The owner of the firm, of the oil company, went and did a major exploration. They spent a lot of money over a period of like 6 months in drilling 8 wells.
Mm.
So it was not cheap. All of a sudden, my GST went boop,
Hmm.
and I was expecting it. I
Yes,
I, I knew what was happening.
you're right.
Then when the CRA agent says, we're going to audit you, and I said, be my
Yep.
guest. Now, they tried to push themselves, and I said, no, you're not pushing me. Sorry, you
Hmm.
don't have the right to push me. Uh,
Right.
you have the right to audit, but you don't have the right to say what you're saying. I got away with it, went through the audit, clear, no problems, everything was done right. I do that with vehicles. I do that with everything. I say, like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pain points. And every once in a while they'll surprise me and they'll do something different, but that's CRA. You never know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But again, we're working with them, but I work with the client and says, how do I protect you from those audits?
Yes.
And if
Yes.
that audit does happen, I've already got my case built in
Right.
a way that I can respond to them within a very short period of time with the information that they want.
Right. So they know it's above board. You know that we all want, nobody wants to have anybody knocking at your door, or facing that. I know that, when we had a restaurant, my son will be facing this now with his, but we used to have to keep all the papers for 5 years. And the thing with that is like storage. We rather have food in that storage than, boxes of stuff. And I remember when we were moving at one point, and it's like, just like all of this paperwork that we have to keep, which now, of course, can probably keep everything on a fob and we don't have to keep it on the paperwork. But it's like you've got to make sure you have the 5 years that they can go back in 5 years. And
Actually,
it,
7 years.
oh, it's seven now. Oh my
Seven
God.
years.
Wow. Wow.
7 years you have to keep your records.
Yeah. And so I want to ask, how much does AI affect your business now? Has it become a wonderful tool that helps you? Does it become something that's efficient, or is it something that's a pain?
It's a neutral. On some areas, AI is very good because I can do my blogs very quickly.
Right.
I remember doing a blog, and it took me like 2 hours to write my blog out. I actually decided I'm going to test AI, and I had ChatGPT, and I said, "Give me this blog." Couple of, and I looked at the two blogs, and I got, "Oh yeah, okay." This one took me 5 minutes. This one took me 2 hours. And I
Yes,
looked at it, and they were almost identical.
exactly. Yeah.
So on the accounting end of it, we're in, we sort of look at our clients as being old school.
Hmm.
I have a lot of clients that just cannot get into the swing of using the cloud and doing the things. They still like that piece of paper. They still put it in. They give it to us. We do our magic. Um, I have seen and I've taken over clients that have gone through this cloud and AI and it's been a mess.
Mm.
That's another reason I don't really want to use offshore because it uses the AI and the cloud.
Right.
And there's still somebody at the end of the day having to interpret it. If you don't
Hmm.
understand the business, you're going to often interpret it wrong. In fact, one of the people they actually had a program that downloaded information in, and then they took the bank, and then they actually duplicated information. So the
Yeah.
statements,
Throws everything off. Yes.
it was okay. This does not make sense. It made absolutely no sense. And it took hours of my time and the other company's time to rectify the situation. So, AI, if it's used correctly
Hmm.
for certain things, it's a godsend. I mean, you can go
Yeah.
just say, here's my financial statements, give me my all my ratios,
Hmm.
and it goes in, it goes boop, and
Yes.
2 minutes later, I got all my ratios, and it gives you kind of an explanation of what that ratio means. Perfect from a financial end of it. From
Mhm.
an accounting, they're tooting that this is the way of the future, but everybody has to go along with it.
Mm,
We have resisted a lot of that internally because we understand our client base.
yes. The human aspect of it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a program out there that I can literally take my phone and I go click, 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 and I can photograph all my invoices.
Hmm.
In fact, I brought in a client. Yes, but they're not photographing the right thing.
Right. Yeah.
They're photographing the payment receipt and not
Right.
the invoice.
Right. Yes.
And CRA will not accept the payment receipt. They want to see the in
Invoice.
they want to see the source, not the payment. That's why so people say, oh, like that. Well, hold on a second. No, again, I have to work with people. And
Mm.
that's why sometimes I say, bring me the source. That's why they take their pieces of paper, put it into an envelope.
Yeah.
I'll come
12 envelopes for the year.
I'm in. I
Yeah.
got my stuff. I do their stuff. So AI is a good tool, but it has to be used for the right reason. It's
Mm.
got to be uh, what we need it to do. And if you
Yeah.
have to understand the limitations, like a lot of people say AI is the saving grace to the world. No,
Hmm.
because you don't understand the world, first of all.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
understand the world. You have to understand your client,
Yes.
and that's who we work with.
It can be a great assistant, but that's all it is an assistant. I
Right.
mean, I use it a great deal, and it's been invaluable to me. But even AI now and again has to be double checked, you know, because it wants to please you. I mean, you have to
Right.
really understand, is it, is it, I interviewed AI, which was an extraordinary conversation. Um, so yes, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It will eventually infiltrate into everything, but we cannot and should not and will not lose the human element in there. Because when we do and we become robotic, where so many big companies have, they just have this, AI chat and it's limited. Well, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Can you rephrase that? And it's
Okay.
like, please just give me a human being. And then you get somebody on chat, but they're serving two or three people at the same time, and you're waiting for them to respond, and you're waiting for them to respond. And there's nothing, as I said, I've been in customer service all my life in one way or the other. If you're not taking care of the customer's going to go to your competition. And so,
Exactly.
that customer service must always be upfront where the customer feels seen and heard, and you feel that you can trust the company you're working with because they've got your best interest at heart.
Yeah, I mean, that's again, that goes back into my mission statement.
Hmm.
It's a partnership.
Yes. Yes.
I know that when I try to talk to you, and I'll use the company Rogers. If you ever try to get through to Rogers on the phone, it's a nightmare. I mean, I was on the phone for 2.5 hours, and finally I figured, okay, they've closed for the night. So I've been on the phone for 2.5 hours waiting to talk to somebody about an issue that I've got. In fact, it's so funny because I had a bill with Rogers that it wouldn't link to my account. I couldn't pay the bill. Literally, they didn't give me a way of paying, sending a check in.
Mm.
Yeah, and I tried to get through to Roger. I just said, you know what? If you don't give me the way to pay it, you
You
take me.
don't get paid.
You
You,
don't get
yeah.
paid. Take me to the
Yeah.
collection. I don't care. I'll pay when the collector calls me.
Yes.
They finally sent me an invoice and said, here's here's a pay stub and you send it to this company, to this address. Thank you. I can actually now pay my bill, which I
Yeah.
wanted to pay. It wasn't like
Right.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, like 400
Mm-hmm.
bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Just, but, and I couldn't talk to somebody to get it linked to my account.
As I say, the bigger the company. And I think this is, again, where a lot of people I've interviewed have left the big companies because it got so impersonal and
Yes.
decided to be more, personal with their clientele. But it's also the danger of big companies because don't underestimate the many, many small companies that are quite willing to pick up the clientels that you've dropped because you're not giving them the service.
Yeah. And that's how we get a lot of
Yeah.
clients. A lot of
Hmm.
our clients come to us and say, we're not happy with their account. Well, and changing accountants is probably one of the most difficult things there is in the world. You build up a relationship with your accountant. You have an understanding what that accountant is all
Hmm.
about.
Like your doctor, right?
And you have to maintain it. So when they do something, it's very hard for them to move away, but
Mm.
they will move.
Oh, they will. Yes, because eventually people just get so frustrated. Does anybody hear me?
Yeah,
And that's the bottom line. And you far rather pay maybe a little bit more and go somewhere where they're actually looking at you eyeball to eyeball. Even if you're offering an online service, having Zoom where you feel that you can talk to someone and they can actually look into your eyes.
yeah,
What we want to know is that we can speak with someone about whatever our issue is or whatever we need done, and that someone is hearing us in present time
yeah,
and is working with us, as you said, that partnership, right?
yeah. I mean, we look at Zoom and or Teams under Microsoft
Mm.
365 or whatever the platform that we use. It actually has improved my ability to
Hmm.
service my clients because first of all, I can say, you have a choice. You can come into my office and talk. I'm not leaving my office because I used to do that.
Hmm.
But right now, I just don't have the time to go traveling
Right.
too much.
Still, still
I have,
snuggling around. Hmm.
yeah, I have certain clients that I do on a regular basis that I go visit them. But it's on a regular basis and it's how I structure my business. But now I say, you can come to my office or we can do a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
If you want to do a phone call, I'd rather not do a phone call because I can't see that person's face.
Yeah, and also you want to have hands free if you're taking a thing,
Yeah,
having to write something down. But again, it's back to that personalization.
right.
If you want to be treated like a human being, when I really care about you, I want to be able to see you.
Yeah,
Right. So, that's that connection. We've become so disconnected because of the social media and because businesses have become now so automative that,
mhm,
we're becoming disconnected as human beings. And that desperation to be connected and seen and heard in any way, which, is something we definitely need. And online businesses and being able to talk to businesses whatever medium, but that face to face is not going away. It's actually enhanced businesses quite considerably, right? But there's still nothing to kind of go into an office and meet somebody. The
yeah,
flesh to flesh is still wonderful if you can, but you've got to have connection because you don't feel it's personal unless you do. And if I'm, trusting you with my taxes, this is personal to me. So I want to be able to look at you and know that
it's
you
more
haven't got
than
eyes going everywhere else.
it's more than just personal, it's intimate.
Yes,
It's
yes.
I
As I
mean,
said, just like you trust your doctor with certain things, you're trusting your accountant with all of your spending.
I was a controller for a small company, and the principal would say to everybody, I'm not taking a wage. And he never did. He didn't take a wage.
Hmm.
He just had a company that was charging the other company a management fee.
Ah,
And I was caught in a real position because the control, you do not lie to your accountant because your accountant sees it.
yes,
He's the You can lie on certain other things, but he sees the financial. He knows exactly what's
yes.
going down. I couldn't say anything to the staff
Hmm.
because my job said you can't do that. You can't,
Right.
you know,
Disclose. No, it's
can't
it's
disclose
yeah.
information. That's a good way to get fired and get banned from work
Yes,
in the
yes,
industry. But at the end of the day, I saw what was going down.
right.
So as an
Yeah.
accountant, I see the issues. And that's why I get asked to come in on these like partnership breakups, because a lot of times a big chunk of that is the financial end of it.
Yes.
They're doing things that are not. When I'm right now, I'm just looking at their accounting and I say, oh, why are all these transactions happening? What's going on here?
Hmm.
Like these are the things that we have to deal with. I don't have the answers because I'm not the accountant. I'm looking at the results. Um, it's just
There is no, and there's more and more. The bigger we get, the more global we get, the more we expand out, the more we seek the intimacy of business, right? The more we seek that customer service again, of being able to actually see somebody to trust them and
mhm,
not just carte blanche and feel, well, I don't know. I mean, did they hear me? Did they see me? What's happening with this? Is Sandy just gone somewhere and I don't know anything? I can't ask any questions. And we don't want that. We want to know I can pick up the phone and go, I'm confused about something, and know that that person's going to take their time and not ridicule you, not judge you, but kind of just walk you through something, which you're
that's right.
not going to get on those big things on those automations.
And there's another aspect to that I look at, and I tell my clients this. I said, I'd rather you drop me a line, send me an email, give me a phone call, and ask me a question. I can give you my take on it, my interpretation on what's going on. You don't have to accept it. You can do as you please.
Exactly.
I tell people that. But realize one thing, that if you don't accept it and it does go sideways, and a lot of times it will go sideways,
Hmm.
it's going to take a lot more time to do it.
Hmm.
So by asking me the question, which I don't charge you for,
Hmm.
you get an answer.
And rectify before the problem is ours.
That's right. But if you don't do it and all of a sudden it goes south on me, and
Yeah.
like I have one client who says, I know more about charging my vehicle than you do.
Hmm.
I said, that's fine. You can do as you please. I don't have any qualm. But be forewarned that if CRA comes and does an audit on you,
Hmm.
I am charging you for every hour I
Hmm.
spend, or portion of an hour that I spend, even if I have to spend it on the phone,
Yes.
which, knowing CRA now, it can be 2, 3 hours waiting for them to talk to you.
Just to pick up the
And,
phone.
and I
Yes.
I will charge you for my time because you didn't follow my advice. Now, if
Right.
you followed my advice and done whatever, it would have taken 10 minutes. I could have provided the information to the CRA if they ever do it. And they said, well, they haven't audited me yet. This is the operative word.
Why? Why are you waiting for it?
This is the operative word is yet.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so
Stitch in time, folks.
you do it my way. Uh, I then take the time and I don't charge you for it. You do it your way. Guess what? You're paying my bill out rate, which is not super expensive, but it's not super cheap.
No.
Or you have to pay my wife's, which is more expensive because she's a CPA. You're paying our time.
And you could have avoided it.
That's
Right.
the operative word. It's
Right.
avoidance of the issue.
Hmm.
Again,
Exactly.
again, back to our conversation before of working for CRA or working with CRA.
Yes. Yes.
It's all these little situations, but I take the pride of saying, look, contact me. I'll give you an answer. I don't mind, and I will attempt to not talk in accounting terms
Right.
because I'm technically not an accountant. My
Right.
master's is in marketing.
Hmm.
So I don't talk to people in account. I try to put it into layman's terms
Right.
and
Yes.
demystify the whole thing and try to say, okay, fine, and explain it to them in terms that are going to be,
A personal identification is what it means to them.
that's right,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, numbers are me. I have dyslexia, so putting numbers in columns for me, I always end up putting things in the wrong column. Just it's just, the paperwork, etc., doing any of that. And numbers don't talk numbers to me. They talk all sorts of other things, but not numbers. All right. And
Right.
even if you would try to explain it, my brain reverses it. So it can be really frustrating. So I wouldn't sometimes even know how to ask the questions because I don't understand what it is. And when you've got somebody that kind of talks layman, okay, A, B, C, D,
Mhm.
right? Then it's like, oh, okay, all right, I can let that go. That I comprehend. Right? But
Yeah.
somebody's talking numbers to you when you're not a numbers person, it's just like, a whole lot of numbers are coming to get me.
And that's the comment that I've had from my clients is that you at least don't talk in accounting terms and you talk in.
Yes,
So I will take the time to make sure that they understand,
yes.
again, the human aspect.
Hmm.
That's where the AI aspect is. Nothing frustrates me more when you go through, you ask the chat bot, and then it comes back, I don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
And it,
Can you rephrase that?
and then you rephrase it. I don't understand.
Yes,
And I've gotten to the point where it says, you know what? I'm a very impatient person. I get very short-tempered in certain things. I say,
yes,
done, click,
yes.
out. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to deal with this company because it's just,
Again, back to the lack of customer service.
yeah.
Right. I don't care what industry you're in, whether people are in the Nanaimo area or on the island looking for an accountant or not, from this show, absolutely fantastic. If you are, normies here for you. But if you are somewhere else and you're looking for accountant and a bookkeeper, there's so many tidbits that I have shared here today that now you can take to an accountant and say, I want to be aware of A, B, C, D, and E. And then they know it will help you filter out the ones that are just quick going to cut corners. So there's somebody that's going to work with you as partners and make sure that you're paying only what you need to pay, but you're protected. So either way, it's a win-win, which is what is there. But that's what you need to do in your own due diligence in finding someone that is a right match for you by asking the right questions. And I call these shows awareness shows because you've shared so much information today that whether somebody is here on the island, or I don't know, do you only work with people on the island or do you work with people
Oh,
elsewhere?
we're licensed for anywhere in BC.
Right,
We do have clients outside of BC. We don't work with anybody from the United States because
right.
that's a whole different ball of wax. We work with anybody. We're not allowed to advertise or solicit outside of BC.
Hmm.
Uh, I do have clients in Vancouver. I've had clients in other smaller communities. Um, I try as much to stay on the island
Hmm.
because it's easier for me to get around on the island. I don't have to cross over, but I do have a fair number of clients in Vancouver. Um, and it's also a good excuse for me to go across
You're
the
right, exactly. It's nice to pop over there now and again. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like we're heading over there in a couple of weeks for a few days of R&R
Me
and
too.
visiting clients. And um, the thing is, my wife likes to go shopping, so she goes for the shopping, I go for the food, and we meet clients at the same time, and we try to build our base across. We just picked up another restaurant on Vancouver. Actually, there's going to be two restaurants that we're going to be working with them,
Indeed.
saving them a lot of money, but I'm going to again work with them to change the way they're doing. So audits, if we ever do audit,
Yeah,
we've simplified our system and we can custom it so I don't have to fear. I can always get the information
yeah.
from our.
Well, basically what you're offering is audit protection. All right. Bottom line there, that if they do audit you just because, the number landed on your name, no red flag, but they've just decided they're going it's like when you go through the airport and have you take your shoes off. Right. They
Yeah,
once had my daughter take her flip-flops off, and I thought, okay, what are you searching there? Right. But, it's that audit protection. It's like, hey, come, I don't fear you auditing me. I've got nothing to hide. And that's what we want to know. Our taxes are paid. I've done my bit. I've saved money, but I've paid what I have to pay. Any audit that comes after me, I know I'm secure.
I've
And
got I've
that's
got
the peace of mind.
I got my ducks in a row that I can answer the
Mm.
questions. Where I always have the problems is if we're not involved with the thing and they just
Yeah.
get, here's your stuff, fine, you know, then that's when these audits often go south and they haven't done what I've asked them to do. And
Right.
the one big one that happened was a vehicle audit.
Right.
Go, go no on that one. And the CRA says you didn't meet the requirements and therefore we're going to deny these credits.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now you're going to pay tax on it.
Yes. And don't try and argue with the CRA. Right? Just
I mean,
don't.
you can argue with them, um, and you can take them to court because I know that there's been in Nanaimo there has been a CRA auditor that went into actually frivolous prosecution
Mm,
and lost.
right.
The
Well,
CRA,
this is where you need the accounting firm that knows it's a frivolous one, knows they've got no leg to stand on.
and
How
that's
do
why
we know that?
I kind of pass that on to the real professionals. I mean, I deal with the basics, but when we're getting
Mhm.
this type, I try to say, okay, fine, you need a tax lawyer, tax
Yeah.
accountant
Yeah.
specializes in this type of work because, and again, there's a lot of times that I pass information off. If there's certain things that somebody needs, if they need to do some asset protection that I can't handle it, I have somebody that can handle
Well,
it.
that's another point, though, isn't it? It's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's not my expertise. Well, where do I go, though? I don't know. Well, with you do.
I,
I've got X,
I
Y, and Z people that can help you in this department. Whether you choose them or not, that's up to you, but I've got them. And that's important because that's so frustrating as a client where I don't know, okay, you can't help me. It's out of your expertise, but I don't know who to go to. Well, just look in the yellow pages, Google. It's no, you want to have somebody who says, I refer this person because you're referring people that you trust, that you know has the same integrity. And
and
so
that goes
that referral feels so much more secure.
and that goes along with just not even just on the accounting side, like
Yeah,
before. Through Alignable, I
yeah,
meet people that I can refer because I see this person having this need. I know
yes,
somebody who has done this work. I can refer that person. Now, whether you
exactly.
choose that person, that's your choice. But I can say, I've got this body of referrals,
Exactly.
and it doesn't have to be accounting. It can be
Anything.
construction. It can be
Just,
this. It can be real estate. It can be
yeah,
these are the people that I say I kind of trust.
yes. Yeah,
And
and it's still buyer beware, but that referral gives you a peace of mind that you know that these are people you would work with. So if you would work with them, then there's a good chance that you can work with them.
that's
And
right.
on Alignable and many other things, do you endorse this person? I have made it an absolute point, unless I've met you, I've had conversations and I like you, or I've interviewed you, I do not refer anyone
That's right.
because my referral is where I've had actually an experience with somebody. Then I will refer them. Otherwise, no, because
Well,
I feel that's going against my grain.
yeah. Oh, and I had to refer, like one of my clients is in financial issues and they needed to talk to a bankruptcy trustee. Now, I've had experience with bankruptcy trustees, some very bad, not personally, but through when I talked to them from a client and somebody I met through Alignable, bankruptcy trustee. I referred this person and he came back to me and says, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
And he said, this person now gave me the advice so I know what to do.
Hmm.
And in a bankruptcy is extremely stressful time because
Yes.
the whole world is falling down around, but you need somebody. So I've had results from some companies that say they just dropped the ball on me. They left me holding the bag
Hmm.
and I just can't do it. And then this other one came back glowing results. And I said,
Right.
now I know that my referral was good, and now I will refer again and again. And
Precisely. That is what it's about.
that's
Well,
right.
we've come to the end of our time here. I know we could carry on
It's
talking so
been a
many more
long time.
subjects. I know we have. Well,
I
there's
think
always so much to say. That's the point.
I think we booked an hour, and it's been an hour and a half.
Oh, easily. Yes. So that's where my shows go because you're always revealing so much wonderful information. So we want to keep it going. But
Yeah.
How do people get hold of you if people are looking for an accountant in BC, especially British Columbia, Canada? What's your site name? Oh, so I know you have a Facebook, and also you're alignable for those that are on there.
And we have a lineup, but we also have a web page. It's at newheightsaccounting.com. So it's New Heights, plural, accounting.com. And kind of the reason that we did New Heights is that we didn't want to associate the accounting firm with a personal name.
Hmm.
We wanted to have something very generic, but it also gave this the attitude of, and if you look at my logo up there, it goes
Hmm.
red to black as a little
Hmm.
airplane. It's going, I'm in the red. I go through the New Heights accounting. I'm jetting up into the black. So I'm
Right.
going into the profit. So it's
Hmm.
helping that way. But it's new heights. So we partner with your company to take it to new heights.
Exactly. Exactly. Which we all
But
want. Yeah.
it's
So
newheightsaccounting.com,
newheightsaccounting.com. Right.
newheightsaccounting.com. That's the best way.
And
It-
alignable on Facebook, what would that be?
okay, alignable would be under Norm Wolf, my
Hmm.
personal name. Um, Under Facebook, it'll be also under Norm Wolf, but also you can Google New Heights Accounting under Facebook. That I do have a corporate page on it.
Wonderful. The thing is, I hope that many of us is like accounting, bookkeeping, it's like, but we all have to do it. Right,
Mhm.
we've all got to pay the piper. He's going to, yeah, otherwise he's going to come after you. And we want to do it where we're not giving more than what we should, but at the same time, we know that we are audit protected, so that if they come knocking on the door, peace of mind, you haven't done anything illegal. And you need somebody who's got that integrity, somebody that's prepared to look at you in the eyes, have the conversation with you, answer the questions, give the suggestions, that really does care about your end results. And I mean, here you are, you're non-wolf on Nanaimo, and wherever you are in BC, you can help them. And it's all about just having that conversation. Reach out, have a conversation with you, and find out whether you're the right fit or not. The
Yeah,
bottom line is you've got to have somebody that A, puts customer service first, that has your best interest at heart, and that will do it in integrity and no bending the rules, but is flexible in making sure that you're not paying more than what you should be paying.
we put a business case together every time that we make a decision. And
Hmm.
if I can't put a business case together of why I'm doing what I'm doing, then it just doesn't work.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful, Norm. We've learned a lot here today, which is
Yeah,
absolutely great. That's the premises of these shows is listen, learn, and apply.
yeah,
So apply, you can reach out to Norm if you're elsewhere listening to this and you're looking for an accountant. Now you know what to look for in an accountant and what
yeah.
you need to know. And that's the important thing. That's the empowerment. But and in any business who's listening, remember customer service. If you haven't got it, you're not going to get the clients. So it doesn't matter what else is out there. AI can assist you in everything else, but it can't replace the human interaction, those partnerships that you want to build up.
That's for sure. You won't keep your clients. That's for damn
No,
sure.
no, definitely not. And you want to know that you've got the same accountant and everything else that's been there that knows you year after year. You don't need to worry about that. It's the same like when you find a doctor, you want to know they know you. You don't have to go in and explain anything. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that connection, that community, and that sense that we are being looked after by everybody because everybody's in the community protecting each other, which is all what it's
Right.
all about. Well, thank you so much, Norm. This has
Well,
been
thank you,
absolutely great.
Sarah. I appreciate this. This is a really enjoyable conversation.
Right back at you, and makes me look at accounting in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Mostly the audit protection,
Yeah.
which I think everybody needs to be aware of. We don't want the CRA at the door. So
Oh no, that we don't
definitely,
want.
no, no, far too intimidating. So remember, it's pay attention and find that person that's the right synergy. Norm is here for you, and but make sure that you are willing to follow the rules, do your bit that you're meant to do, but it doesn't mean that it has to kind of cost you some pennies that should be in your pocket. There's a right way to do things, and it can be very profitable for everyone. So
Yeah, for sure.
until next time, folks, may your purse be full and your heart be even fuller. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.